Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. We are back. We are good to go here on a Wednesday. What a day yesterday. Overall records back up. Like we've been talking about, February is really starting to roll, starting to go green. Great day yesterday. Like I said, 4-0. So we'll recap all that, what we had for yesterday. We'll look at today, big slate, big NBA slate, 2 NBA betting strategy plays today in the NBA. Nice college basketball slate as well. So we've got a great show for you today. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. Records up. Here we go. Overall, 30.62 units since October. Yesterday, again, talked about we went 4-0. We talked a little bit about these on the shows. They were leans. I ended up giving some of them out as the play there. Purdue money line was our free play at plus 113. Nice win there. Close. Nebraska made a push back, down there at the end, but Purdue pulls it off. BYU Baylor soared over that total, 157.5. Nice, easy winner there. Miami money line. I said, look out for Miami. A spot for North Carolina after that big win against Duke. Let down here on the road against Miami. Miami money line. Nice win there as well. And then Arizona State minus 2.5. Really wasn't much of a game the whole time. I mean, they kind of Oklahoma State was close here and there, but towards the end, Arizona State won, got the cover, had no problem there. So 4-0 day yesterday. Let's continue that, and I mean, really try and do the same thing today. That's what we're going to be doing. That's the goal. We want to get to that 4-0 again, or 3-0, depending how many plays we end up going with today. Again, we've got NBA betting strategy that we're going to be talking about. We've got college basketball. So let's just get right into our NBA betting strategy for today. Bucks Magic. First one that we're going to be looking at there is the Bucks and the Magic. Again, for those that have been following along, you do know what that NBA strategy does consist of. Currently, 18-15 with the strategy. Could be better. Winning record's nice. Could be much better. 18-15. Let's see if we can win these two tonight and then at least go to 20-15 on the season. That would be a nice little positive direction there. 18-15 so far. So first one we're looking at Bucks Magic. These two teams just played on Monday. Magic win 118-99. They win, they cover that 9.5 number. So what do? We take Bucks today, looking at around a 10.5 number there for the Bucks. So right away, again, that's going to be where we're going for this game. I want to make sure I get these locked in early enough, even though we will be giving this out towards the end. Bucks 10.5 is going to be a way that we're going. That's one for our NBA betting strategy. Another one that is also today, we love it, Clippers and Rockets there. Rockets, they win yesterday, and I believe, let me double check the score on that one, they do not cover. So they win, do not cover. They win by 7 there. They were laying about a 9.5. Today, they're laying an 8.5. It looks like Sengun, game time decision. Need a check. It looks like he's probable. Should be good to go. Rockets are laying an 8.5. So we will be on that one as well. On the Rockets side, minus 8.5. I'll give out the exact number at the end of the show for both of these. They're both going to be a free play. So we can, again, we're using ProfitX. Use my code, Paul Rami there. That's where you're going to get the best lines, best odds, less amount of juice that you're paying. Again, you're betting against other people. You're not betting against the book here. You don't got to pay that extra juice. So that's what we're going to be on, is those two, Bucks and Rockets, for today. Looking at the other games in the NBA. Cleveland laying that big number against the Wizards, minus 17.5. I mean, hey, they must really like having a Harden there. I mean, they've looked good in those, couple games with them. Cleveland, though, that's a big number, laying that 17.5. Going into All-Star break, I don't know. What's the motivation to blow out this team by 17.5? It's, yesterday they got a nice big win against Denver there. I'm sorry, on Monday. I don't know why I say this today. On Monday. Now they're back home right before the All-Star break. Yeah, I would be on the Wizards here for this one. That's a big number. Almost, you're basically asking to win by 20, which is not impossible. Teams do it all the time. I would just be leaning the Wizards for this one here. I just don't think Cavs are really motivated for this game here in particular to win and blow out the Wizards there by more than that 17.5. Hawks, Hornets. I mean, Hornets is a fun team to watch. Really fun team to watch as of late. I mean, how many was that straight? I believe that was almost, 10 straight before they lost against the Pistons. They just beat the Hawks on Saturday. Now they're home playing them again. Does not fit our NBA betting strategy because we do have that game sandwiched in between. So we're not going to be on this one here. We would possibly be on the Hawks if it was a back-to-back here. But again, it's not, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Really nothing a lot on this game that I'm liking. I'm not really liking this Atlanta team. Again, with all those trades that they made, they're selling that team pretty much, deciding to go back to that rebuild. So not going to be touching Atlanta anytime soon. Pistons, Raptors. Raptors laying a small number, minus 1.5 there. Again, I've talked about with Toronto, as long as RJ Barrett is in, I'm okay laying points. Especially with Duren and Stewart both out for Detroit, there goes all your aggressiveness. There's your interior. I would definitely lean Toronto here on this one, laying the 1.5, small number. It just feels like, Toronto's going to be able to handle business. So I would be leaning that way since Detroit's dealing with some suspensions there. Bulls Celtics, don't have too much to talk about that one. Not really big on that game. Knicks at the Sixers. Knicks laying a small number, 2.5 there. Joel Embiid out. Of course, Paul George there out as well. I don't know if I want to get involved in this game again. A lot of these games are really tough to get involved with before we head into that All-Star break. It's kind of like the teams are kind of feeling that. They're feeling that break coming. They want to get to it, have some days off, enjoy their weekend, have some drinks, party, whatever it is. I don't think a lot of them are too motivated to really do much now. So I would be off that Knicks Sixers. There's nothing I'm liking on that game. Heat Pelicans, same thing. Pelicans laying that small number, 1.5. Obviously, Heat dealing with some injuries. Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, both those guys out. I would not be leaning Pelicans or Heat on this one. I'm never probably going to bet Pelicans laying any sort of number, even though it's a small number, 1.5. It's just tough to ask Pelicans to lay any number. So I wouldn't be doing that. I'm also not going to be on the Heat. So this is just one of those games we're just going to stay off of. Thunder, Suns, interesting game here. Thunder laying 7.5 here on the road against the Suns. They'll be back home tomorrow, or they'll be taking on the Bucks before going into the All-Star break. Suns, when we look at what they're doing, this is their last game before the All-Star break. Look, Suns play some decent basketball. Very decent basketball. 32-22 record. I mean, they're no joke. They can shoot the ball. Defense, of course, is OKC has the edge there defensively. But Suns can shoot the three pretty well, 36%. I mean, just a little bit over what OKC does. They rebound offensively. I would be leaning Suns here plus 7.5. Even with Devin Booker here, I'm trying to see if there's any news on him. He's still questionable as of 2 hours ago. Even if he's out, I would still be leaning Phoenix here. I mean, SGA is out for OKC. Yeah, sure, Chet can take them there to win by 7.5. It's possible, but I don't know. I'd be leaning Suns here for this game. Too big of a number there. Grizzlies, Nuggets, don't have a lot on that one, nor do I have a lot on the Kings, Jazz. Spurs, Warriors, laying a 6.5 here with the Spurs on the road against the Warriors. I don't see why not. They've been covering and winning on the road with no problem. Do we want to do it here? I'd probably pass on this one. I know there's no Steph Curry. I don't think there's too much motivation for the Spurs team to get the win and cover here. So I would just be off that one. So NBA, we've got 2 plays that we're going to definitely be giving out, maybe even having another one. Excuse me, we'll see there. Into college basketball. Few games already tipped off. Iowa, Maryland, about 5 minutes into the first there. Boston Army, for anyone who likes some, mid-major action, Colgate, Holy Cross, there you go. About to tip off shortly, USC, Ohio State. Ohio State laying a 7.5 number here. After, a big loss against Michigan by 21 points there, now they've got USC visiting. USC, as of late, they look solid. They look pretty solid. Win against Indiana. Yeah, they beat Rutgers. That was a close loss against Iowa. Beating Wisconsin. Really not losing too bad against Purdue or Northwestern. This number, I think, is a little bit too many points for Ohio State. Ask them to win and cover. Excuse me. I'd be on USC. Ohio State should be really around a 4.5, maybe 4 number. USC getting that extra 3.5, 3 points. That's going to be a difference maker. I would lean USC plus 7.5. They've just been playing very well as of late. We know, Chad Baker-Mazara has been out. Not a big deal. I mean, that team still has been pretty solid without him the last couple games. So I'd just be leaning, again, USC here to cover that 7.5. Virginia Tech, Clemson. I don't know what to make of Virginia Tech here. They have some nice wins. They have some embarrassing losses. They seem to just kind of hang around some games, and then other ones just get blown out. So you never really know what you're going to get with them. 8.5 is that's a tough number. That's a tough number. I would probably prefer to lean more towards an under on this game, 138.5. I just think Clemson's defense is going to be too much. And then the pace that they run, Clemson's going to want to control the game, run at a slow pace. Virginia Tech is going to be a lot better in transition. Just offensively, they do not like running that half-court type of pace. That game that does not suit really Virginia Tech's style. I would lean Clemson here, or the under would probably be a little bit better for this game if we're going to look at the total. Again, that one's sitting at about a 138.5. I would lean under. Florida, ranked number 14 here at Georgia. Georgia, I mean, they were good earlier in the season, then have just been kind of slumping since then. Again, of course, that happens when you're playing against these tough teams in the SEC. They lost to Florida already once this year by 15. It's different when you have these big schools. It's not like the mid-majors where they play them twice in a season and you go 1-1. These teams, it's a little bit different. I'd probably lean Florida here, that number 8.5. I would have preferred to get Georgia at double digits, like somewhere around 10.5, 11.5. But I'm not going to be on either side. If I had to go away, I would be leaning Florida, but not comfortably there. Cal, Syracuse. Cal, when they face tough teams, you really don't know what you're going to get. They're still very unpredictable. Embarrassing loss against Clemson there, only putting up 55. Before that, you beat Georgia Tech, you beat Miami, go on the road and beat them there. Again, a win against North Carolina earlier too. So Cal is capable. I just don't know how well they're going to play here. Syracuse also is not. It's not Syracuse that they typically are. They struggle shooting the ball there. I would be leaning probably Cal, just because if we're going to be relying on Clemson here to cover that almost, what is that, 6.5 number, with the lack of 3-point shooting that Clemson really has had all season, I don't like it, as well as their free throw shooting. Terrible free throw shooting team, one of the worst in the nation, 63.6%. Against Cal hitting that 78.5%. I'd be on leaning Cal here to cover that number. Would prefer to get somewhere around an 8.5 instead, but 6.5 is where it is. That's just a lean for me there. Looking at a few others, a lot of good mid-major games about to tip off here as well at 6 o'clock within the next 45 minutes. Providence Seton Hall, kind of fun Big East matchup there. I would be leaning Seton Hall on that one. Do not want to get involved with Providence. Looking at other ones, Colorado, Texas Tech. Colorado just kind of feels like they're trending down at the moment. Sure, that one against Arizona State, TCU was nice, but when they play tougher competition, they don't really step up. I would be leaning Texas Tech here for this one. Michigan on the road, laying a 15.5. At this point, sure, they're going to keep blowing out Big Ten teams by a lot, by a wide margin. Yeah, might as well take them there. I would lean Michigan here to cover that big number. Nothing showing otherwise that Northwestern can hang around that 15. Tennessee, Mississippi State. Good game here. Kind of feels like a spot where Tennessee may slip up a little bit. Coming off that loss at Kentucky, then you're back on the road here against Mississippi State. I don't know if I really trust Tennessee to win and cover that when they're going back home taking on LSU. Mississippi State, though, they're not a good team. Against Missouri, loss. Against Arkansas, embarrassing loss there that they had on Saturday. I would just be off of this game. If I had to go lean a certain way, it would be Mississippi State. But other than that, there would be no action on this game. Looking at the few others, Penn State at Washington, late night game. I'd probably lean Washington. I'm not going to trust Penn State here on the road in this spot. Just played USC on Sunday, making that travel now against Washington. I believe, Hans Steinbach, he's fine. He's in, should be good to go. So I would be leaning Washington here for this game and staying off Penn State there. Penn State just does not do anything well. They don't defend. They can't rebound the ball. Their field goal shooting is not that impressive, nor is their three-point shooting. This is not the Penn State of the past. I would be leaning Washington here for this game. So a lot of fun games here today for college basketball, NBA as well. Let's get into that free play that we talked about. 2 of them we will be giving out. Those are both going to be posted over on sportbetextra.com. Again, go get you a free 7-day trial. 4-0 yesterday. We're going to try and continue this same today. Once your trial is over, get you another 7 days, hop back on for that week, then a month or 3 months. I'm going to have plenty of options for you over there over on sportbetextra.com. Into the NBA, we've got 2 plays here. We're going Bucks, and it looks like we can get an 11 there. So we're going to go Bucks. Let's get all of our odds, all of our tracking, everything pulled up so we can make sure we've got it all locked in. We're going to go Bucks plus 11 minus 109 is what we're seeing right now on ProfitX. So Bucks plus 11 minus 109. A little bit more juice because we're not taking the 10.5, but I'll take a 109 any day. Next one we're going to be looking at, we're going to go back down here to Houston. Rockets -8.5. It looks like it's about a -103. So Rockets -8.5, -103. We'll be on that one there. 2 plays in the NBA for our betting strategy. Let's continue to kill it with our betting strategy. Again, the rest of the plays will be posted within the next 5-10 minutes, right before all these games tip off. Go join me at sportbetextra.com. Sign up on PopForDex. Use code Paul Rami there for 20% purchase match up to $100. I will see you guys tomorrow for the last show of the week, and then we are back on Monday. Good luck. Have a good one. See ya.